Nakase has leaned on even more in her second season, and they have helped guide this team to 7 straight wins. Your starting lineups: Gabby Williams back in the lineup and available after the back contusion she suffered in the second half in the victory over Toronto and for the Indiana Fever. Clark and Mitchell, the top scoring duo in the league, as both these teams will meet up for the third and final time this season. It'll be Stokes and Boston for the jump ball, and possession to the Valkyries as they look to extend their franchise record 7-game winning streak to 8. And Morgan, one of the things you're going to eyeball throughout this game, especially on the defensive end, is how well the Valkyries can slow down Aaliyah Boston, who's able to get the steal there.
Yeah, it's going to be huge, making sure you know where she is on the floor, because she's been evolving her game and stretching the floor as well.
An unfortunate early turnover for the Valkyries. That was something Coach Nakase said they have to put a lid on, can't give opportunities to the other team. Clark in the paint, bothered by Chechi and company. Clark gets her loose ball rebound, and it'll be Indiana ball on the baseline.
Hey, you saw Caitlin Clark get deep into the paint on that first possession. Got to make sure that you're just pushing her out, not letting anything get there easy.
Indiana coming off a 109-75 victory at Las Vegas. Mo Billings, the former Valkyrie from last year, can't get the shot. Up ahead in transition, it's Williams on the wing, defended by Clark. And that's one thing teams are going to look to do this season: isolate Clark. They do here. Williams, mid-range jumper. She connects for 2.
And that's the thing that Gabby Williams also has over Caitlin Clark, is that size. You got to stop, pop, elevate, take her wherever you can on the floor.
And that's the interesting thing with Indiana. Clark certainly elevates their ceiling with a third very capable scorer out there. But this team is 4-0 without Caitlin Clark. They've been a great defensive team in her absence. Boston at the rim, can't find it. So far, the Valkyries, 2 great defensive stands.
And you know Boston is efficient when she gets that low, but just couldn't get that one.
Chechi, the 3 off the handoff, and what a start for the Valkyries. 5-0, they sprint out the gate.
Being decisive and getting quick into their offense.
Pull the drive. She's walled off by 2 defenders. We've heard the Valkyries say they want to stay connected and stick to the game plan. They've done it so far. Boston loses it out of bounds, and the Valkyries hold the W's top scoring offense to an 0-for-3 start.
Yeah, and starting with the Valkyries offense, you said it, you want to make sure to attack Caitlin Clark, and that's exactly what Gabby Williams did on that first possession. Then down in the early offense, the handoff to Chechi for 3.
And it'll be fascinating to see how many times the Valkyries will go to that opportunity when Clark is defending one of their great one-on-one scorers on an island. Hull tries to cut off Williams. KT in the corner, can't connect. Mitchell unable to hold on to it. 4.9 on the shot clock. Valkyries ball on the baseline.
And another good look. Kayla Thornton, we've seen from the outside get some of those open looks in the corner, has still been trying to find a way to knock them down. Hopefully she can find her flow.
There's Coach Nakase. She mentioned this team has done a great job with the little details, especially the communication during this franchise record 7-game winning streak. Gabby, no good on the 3. KT chases down the offensive rebound. Mitchell defending Williams, the 2, selected by Team Cooper in the All-Star draft. KT, the pump fake, the drive, walled off by Hull. Up top, Chechi, clean look from the wing, can't connect, but the Valkyries getting some quality looks.
Get into the paint, get those paint touches, and kick it out.
Clark races down the floor. Stokes steps out of the key to slow down her fast break. Clark looking to turn the corner against Burton. Clark fading away. Shot is long, knocked out of bounds. Valkyries ball.
And what a good hustle by Kayla Thornton, battling with the former Valkyrie, Mo Billings, crashing the boards.
Valkyries might have gotten away with one there as we take a look at the review on the jumbo board. KT might have gotten a finger on it. Either way, Indiana doesn't challenge, and the Valkyries still lead 5-0. Indiana still looking for their first points of this game. Williams with Billings defending. Cross-court pass, they whip it around. KT in the corner. Boston out defending her. Shot clock dwindling. Chechi, step back 3. The rainbow shot rolls in. 8-0 start for the Golden State Valkyries.
A little DHO action between KT and Chechi as the shot clock was winding down, just giving her the space that she needed from 3.
Mitchell, who has been the hot hand over the last 6 games, blocked by Williams. Williams again gets the branches up. Valkyries dominating the start of this game. Burton to KT, she thought about it, flips it over. Kia Stokes, her triple, 2 strong, rebound to Billings. Here comes Mitchell. Valkyries have to be on their P's and Q's, transition defense. That's what Kelsey Mitchell can do. It's a long 2. doesn't get their first points until the first 3.5 minutes into this game.
Yeah, Kelsey Mitchell pushing the ball up the floor. It's tough in transition because you want to make sure to stop her around the arc, but you know she can take you all the way to the rack as well.
So far defensively, the Valkyries have stayed at home when they've needed to. Burton flips it back up top. Stokes with 4 to shoot. Over to KT. KT, strong drop. And her return back to the floor, her defense has been terrific.
It's been terrific right there. You see the block and then the deflection. And again, just running the floor, seeing the open lane, scoring on the other end. You saw the way that she went at Caitlin Clark on that first possession, knowing what she can do against her. She has the size advantage. Try to take her all the way in, and if you can't, just elevate over her in the mid-range.
Williams with 4 points already. Keep in mind, the last 2 games she's played, which were Washington and Toronto, she had just a total of 9 points combined in those 2, so she's off to a quick start. Indiana now 1 for 8 to start this game as Sophie Cunningham and Michaela Timpson check in for them, as well as Ty Harris. They go with a bit of a line change. Harris, 4 to shoot. Burton defends her. Harris contested 3, no good. Volleyballed alive by Leah Boston. Harris will tee it off one more time. She's able to hit the second time around.
And those are tough. When you get those offensive rebounds, you get those cross matches, and right there, Harris was left wide open.
And keeping Boston off the glass, the last time these 2 teams met in Indiana, Boston had 16 rebounds in that game. Williams, baseline jumper, can't connect. Timpson the board.
And not a bad look because they were looking for that DHO action, and Sophie Cunningham got caught off guard for just a second.
Cunningham was 6 of 7 from 3 in that victory on the road against the Aces. She's been one of the best 3-point shooters in the league in June. Boston still can't get at the cup. Well defended by Stokes.
Stokes, she's been that rim protector, but staying vertical again on Boston.
Burton the drive. Burton had the angle, will change direction, bounce pass to Williams. Chechi with 6 points. A little dance here. Has the rock in her hand. Goes right by Cunningham. Chechi elevates. Unable to get it. Mentioned the Valkyries, the stingiest defense in the W, and so far they've held the hot shooting fever to just 5 points here in the first quarter. Mitchell, quick trigger, misses everything, and right now the fever all out of sorts.
Yeah, and even it was an inside out. You get that paint touch with Boston, you kick it out to Mitchell, who has been huge from beyond the arc. She's averaging career high in points, in 3-point percentage, and so much more. So for the Valkyries, you're just seeing them everywhere and communicating on another level.
And this is when the true luxury for the Valkyries shines, the bench unit. They're on pace to set a WNBA record for points per game at 35.4. So Janelle Salon, Kyla Charles checking in at the moment. Charles dancing with Stokes. Charles bounce passes to Stokes. Stokes able to catch it. Goes up with the left. Off angle. Rebound to Cunningham. That'll be a foul on Kyla Charles.
And it's a great look. The 2-player action right there. Charles just trying to hit Stokes with that little pocket pass. Stokes just not able to finish.
That's the one thing you continue to see game after game with Golden State. The shooting percentages may fluctuate sometimes just based on how the ball's going in through the hoop some nights, but the quality of shots remain high, and that's because of the ball movement and player movement they emphasize.
It's how they generate everything. They make sure everyone's going to touch that basketball. That trust is there.
Mitchell, tough shot against Stokes, and you saw the Valkyries defending that there where Stokes steps up after that screen.
And you know it's going to be tough against Mitchell all night. She's been a dog all season long, and right there tacking and finishing on the left side.
We have that crazy stat. 13 straight games where the opposing team's leading scorer has yet to meet their average. Hayes, another good look, just off angle. Mitchell between the legs. She'll try the 3, and she's starting to heat up as Kelsey Mitchell now has 7 points here in the first quarter, and Indiana goes on an 8-0 run.
And that's tough. How do you defend Mitchell? You want to make sure that you're not too much in drop, not allowing her to get too much space from the top.
Burton over the top to Stokes. Stokes, the patience at the rim, puts it in.
And smart play, smart pass by VB.
The long pass to Cunningham, broken up by Burton. Careens off the backboard. Valkyries have it as they push it down the floor. Stokes has played some solid minutes here in the first. She stays on the floor with 2:30 left in the first quarter. Hayes turns the corner, bumped by Boston. That'll be a foul on Aaliyah Boston, who can be prone to foul trouble here and there.
Yeah, and you see her right there, just trying to slow down someone coming off a screen, bumps them, no freedom of movement there. But going back to Kelsey Mitchell on the offensive end, my goodness, she crosses back over to the left side, finishes, and then right here between the legs, sees a little bit of space. Tip Hayes gives her that little bit of space. She knocks it down.
It's a little bit of miscommunication where you're thinking Mitchell's going to go for the handoff, steps back, and certainly something the Valkyries can clean up. Salon, fresh off the bench, pumps in the jumper. She's got her first 2 points of the game.
And I like Salon looking for that inside shot first.
Oh, look at the hands from Burton, just ripped it out of the cookie jar. Guides it to the cup with the left, and the Valkyries back up 8.
We're loving this defense
and
right
how
there.
about Burton suffocating defense in the backcourt, not letting up at all.
The denial. I love seeing that in the backcourt, and then you see it even at the top. She does such a great job on ball with those active hands, active body. Right here, Janelle Salon getting in that mid-range, getting the 2. Thought she got a little contact as well.
3 steals for the Valkyries here in the first quarter. They have forced 4 turnovers. The entire bench on the floor now with Ami here and Chen checking in. Mitchell working, kicks it over. Cunningham 3. And her hot shooting continues.
Sophie Cunningham has looked good from beyond the arc. Last game, 6 of 7 from three-point land.
Indiana now 3 of 6 from beyond the arc here in the first. Ami here. Just looking for a Valkyrie to get it to, and a bit of a miscommunication there with Salon.
Trying to get that handoff and then going for that over the top. You're exactly right. The miscommunication, how can you connect on that and not allow that to be another turnover?
It's the second turnover of the first quarter for the Valkyries with under 1:30 left. Mitchell is the only starter still on the floor for either team outside of Billings. Billings dumps it off to Timpson for 2. But so far, Morgan, I'd say holding Indiana to just 15 points so far is a big win, especially here in the first quarter.
It's been huge, and obviously Kelsey Mitchell has been getting things going, but that Valkyries defense, they got to keep talking it up.
Charles baseline jumper, no good. Ami here trying to fight for it, can't get it. Harris the rebound. Here's Mitchell. Valkyries find her quickly. Chen defending. Chen on a bit of an island. Salon comes over for the help. Mitchell too quick, beat her to the spot.
Salon way too late on that help. As soon as her player dragged her out on that other side, she kept going with them instead of staying in the middle.
Kelsey Mitchell with 9 points in the first quarter, and that was the one thing you're concerned about, a team's leading scorer getting hot. Ami here from Chen. Ami here, great take to the cup and a little kiss off the window.
And Caitlin Chen being that floor manager, feeding Ami here to the rim.
So far, it's really just been Kelsey Mitchell doing the majority of the offense for the Fever. She's played every minute here in the first quarter. 18 seconds left. Harris will get the screen from Billings. Harris turns the corner. Mitchell, 5 to shoot on the clock. Chen on her. Mitchell working. Mitchell, long 2. Difficult shot, can't get it. Billings, offensive rebound, fouled by Salon with 2.4 left on the clock.
And that's where the discipline has to come in, Jordan, right there. Janelle Salon trying to get that block, but instead you should have just gone over the top, maybe try and get that ball, not come across her arms at all, because then you send her to the line.
Right now, Indiana out-rebounding the Valkyries 11-5 with 5 offensive rebounds here in the first quarter. Monique Billings, a member of the Valkyries last season. We were talking to Coach Nakase about what was her time like with Mo Billings last year, especially with it being her first year as a head coach. And she had a great story about sort of the polar opposite and the balance that Mo Billings would bring.
She brings a lot of zen to everyone's life. She's been working on self-care, and that's exactly what she brings to every team.
Billings can't hit the second, and the Valkyries will hold pat with a 2-point lead. They hold Indiana to 18 points. That's the good news. The bad news, Kelsey Mitchell had 9 of them. Valkyries go.
That basketball, she's doing such a great job with that pressure. Everyone's got to continue that for 4 quarters in this game.
The second quarter has been where the Valkyries have created their separation. You see that plus 5.4 differential. It's Thompson the W. But for Indiana, Caitlin Clark back on the floor along with Harris, Billings, Timpson, and Cunningham. Clark wrapped up, just ripped away by Charles. Uses the strength, 3-on-2 opportunity. Hayes running the wing. Hayes goes up and picks up the foul. There's the defense leading to some instant offense.
Kyla Charles ripping that ball away and pushing it up the floor. This is exactly from the Valkyries defense. When they can execute like that, slow down Caitlin Clark, just really take away all that confidence, it's huge.
Well, Tiffany Hayes in this bench group, as we mentioned, most games double figures for her. She's had 9 points in that victory over Connecticut. Well, the Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow and Fire is coming to Chase Center. Don't miss the 2-day, 3-show run on August 15th and 16th. Get your tickets at chasecenter.com. I've got 4 boys. They would love to see trucks go vroom, vroom, smashed. I'll tell you that much.
Thank you for doing that, Jordan.
You didn't think I was going to do it.
Hey, you do follow through.
4-point lead for the Valkyries. Harris over to Clark, defended by Hayes. Remember, the two of them got a little chippy back in Indianapolis in early May. Billings, shot clock at 4. Billings fading away. Can't get it. Charles the rebound.
Good contest, and then good box outs down low.
Right now, Indiana a little out of sorts with their matchups defensively. And you see Cunningham just trying to ask for a little bit of help as a pair of screens will be set for Hayes. And a travel called against Hayes, so that'll get the ball back to Indiana.
And good decision by Indiana's defense, just throwing that quick double on Tiffany Hayes, making her
was a former player for the Fever back in the day, and his team got to the Game 5 of the semifinals last year before losing to Las Vegas. Dealt with a tremendous amount of injuries, and this year they are healthy, and they've got players like Cunningham that continue to shoot at a high clip.
Shooting 44% from three-point land. Again, coming off that big game, Jordan, she's feeling good.
Morgan, she's 8 for her last 9 from outside. You figure the percentages will come down to earth at some point. Charles, the drive, attacks the closeout, up and under with the scoop.
Moving that ball around as soon as that high double came.
Simpson the catch, surrounded by 2. Open 3, lets it fly, can't connect. Hayes rips down the offensive rebound. 9 to shoot. Valkyries will reset. Burton, nice catch there. Burton working against Harris. Stokes, corner 3, too strong.
And not a bad look for Kia Stokes. She loves a corner 3, and right there, VB getting in the paint.
Difference has just been 3-point efficiency. Valkyries 2 for 8. Fever 4 for 7 in the first half so far. That's going to be a foul on Hayes as Cunningham was cutting. So Hayes will pick up her first personal.
And Tiffany Hayes on the offensive end, attacking Cunningham right here. Oh, look at that. Great finish by Hayes. And on the other end, the defense, Kia Stokes blocking Mo Billings, who was going all the way.
Gabby and KT return to the lineup. Boston and Mitchell back on the floor for the Fever. So all 3 All-Stars for Indiana on the court at this moment. Clark from Timpson, offensive foul as Timpson leveled VB, and credit VB for fighting through that and being able to draw that foul.
And that's exactly it, doing anything she could to try and contest that shot. And Timpson, if she had just stayed still for a second longer, she could have had it, but right there she was trying to slip, go to the basket, maybe get another opportunity for Caitlin to look at her.
Stuck that leg out, tripped up Burton, so that's the first foul against Timpson. Burton kicks it over to KT. 8 to shoot. Hayes double teamed, back to KT. Her 3, it's good. She knocks it down. It's the 3rd 3 of the night for the Valkyries.
That was a confident shot by KT. Timpson giving her just a little bit of space.
And another turnover forced by the Valkyries. This time it's Williams bringing it down. KT nearly lost the handle. She's off to a terrific start. 2 of 3. The confidence, you can just see it in her right now. Burton goes right into Clark, steps through. Clark able to get a hand on it to slow her down. Clark picked up by 2, dumps it off to Boston, and that's just what you live with sometimes when you try to chase her off the 3-point line.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark, obviously such a threat from the outside. You had the 2 on her, leaving Boston wide open on that slip.
4-point lead for the Valkyries. Just under 6 minutes left here in the first half. Burton, long pass, gets it over to Hayes. Hayes again The quick feed gets fouled by Boston. That's the second personal on Aaliyah Boston.
Tiffany Hayes attacking the closeout, had the angle down the left side. Boston coming over to help a little bit too late. And here it is one more time. Sophie Cunningham going one way. Oh, this is the KT3, that is, when Timpson left her just a little bit of room.
Hayes with 4 points and assist, and what I really liked from her so far in the first half is she's using her quickness depending on who's matching up with her, and Cunningham might have a little bit more size, but Hayes immediately beats her on that first step. So the Valkyries, one thing they emphasize too is playing defense without fouling. When they were back here in Indianapolis on May 22nd, the Fever shot 29 free throws in that game so far. Indiana just 1 for 2 from the free throw line. The Valkyries 3 for 3 so far. Coach Nakase said it's a three-headed monster for the Fever, the highest scoring trio in the league with Clark, Boston, and Mitchell. And so far, the three of them have combined for just 11 points here in the first half, 9 of those coming from Mitchell. Williams trying to chase Mitchell. Mitchell off a pair of screens from Boston. Stokes now chasing out to her on the perimeter. The handoff to Clark. Clark, step back three. Challenged by Burton. Long rebound into the hands of Mitchell. She resets for the three. Can't get it. Burton the rebound.
Those offensive rebounds have been huge for the Fever, just creating those second chance opportunities.
6 offensive rebounds for the Fever, but just 4 second chance points. Hayes, a running start. Over to Williams. Burton back to Williams. Williams with Mitchell defending. Shot clock winding down. Williams wants to rise up over her. Clean look, but can't put it in.
Yeah, and I like that for Gabby, just trying to work her defender down lower and lower for her jump shot.
Clark, the drive. Stokes to help. Clark, tough take, takes the contact, has a few words for the official too.
And this is when you should be pushing up the ball, Jordan. You had numbers as Caitlin Clark was complaining to the ref.
Keep in mind, Clark has missed some time due to that lingering back issue during the season, and she was a little slow to get down the floor. And now Burton, cross-court dime. Stokes lines up the triple. Clean look again, and Burton just goes right by Clark, and Clark looks to be a little step slow, and now Clark very animated at the official. Very hot right now. The foul was called against the Fever. And listen, I have done a handful of Indiana games. I have never seen Clark quite at that temperature at the official. And there's the foul from Boston. That is going to be Aaliyah Boston's 3rd personal foul.
Yeah, it's an obvious foul. I mean, just the timing of it. As Veronica Burton was going in for that rebound, Boston was coming over. And, you know, usually that's a technical in like every state of this country, but hey, Caitlin Clark getting heated in that moment, and now she's going back.
So Clark will go back to the locker room. We saw her take the hard fall, excuse me, after she took the contact. And so Clark out of the game right now in the locker room. Boston with 3 fouls. She's off the floor. And now I believe we have a challenge coming here.
Jordan, where would the challenge be?
Well, we saw the ushers step onto the floor as if the officials were going to go to the monitor. Now the officials say, listen, we don't need you ushers. You can go back off. We're good. And let's get to the game here.
And you know where this all started too with Caitlin Clark and her frustration as she's coming back under the tunnel. She thought she got fouled on that last layup. And so then her frustration went into when Boston is picking up another foul on the defensive end.
That's a huge loss at this moment for the Fever without Boston. Valkyries don't care. Gabby races to the cup for 2.
And a smart take, and especially when they're frustrated, this is when you need to attack. If they're not staying composed, attack.
6-point lead for the Valkyries. Oh, Mitchell lost it. Here comes Gabby in transition. Gabby to the cup. Yo, Gabby. How about her start? 8 points here in the first half.
She's loving the right side, and I love how aggressive she is going into the paint.
Awfully quiet here in Gainbridge Fieldhouse at the moment. 8-point lead for Golden State. Hull had to fight for that bucket.
And that's a smart bucket by Hull, just driving it into the paint. They got to keep working it in there, especially when they have someone like Boston and Clark out.
Williams, 4 of 7 from the field. This time drives against Billings. Will retreat the dribble. Gets Billings on an island. We'll kick it over to Burton. Burton with Harris defending. Burton, a flurry of moves. KT, the drive. KT rises up, and Burton will fall to the floor. Hull will take a spill, and they're going to call Veronica Burton for that foul, and I think that's a little bit of a makeup call there.
Yeah, they don't want anyone to get too frustrated in this game, as Veronica Burton was going up for that rebound as well, and Hull just falling down.
Just the first personal on Burton, and just the 4th team foul of the half against the Valkyries. So they have defended well. They have 6 steals already and 2 blocks, but they've done it without fouling, and that was their goal coming in.
It's been huge. This ball pressure has been absolutely amazing around the perimeter.
Mitchell scoreless here in the second quarter. Mitchell blocked by Stokes. She sent it back to earth, and 3 members from the Valkyries bench just rising up, waving that shot away, and Kia Stokes continues to be a defensive force.
Oh my, Kia Stokes around the rim. The protection has been there. And looking back at Caitlin.
Challenge it again. Cunningham, the runner, off balance, and KT can't hang on to it. So Indiana will get another crack at it.
Kayla Thornton trying to stay with it, just couldn't corral the basketball. The Valkyries defense once again communicating well.
Indiana 5 of 12 from the field here in the second quarter. They've been held to just 11 points so far. Mitchell, contested jumper, no good. Billings, another offensive rebound, the 7th of the game for the Fever. Cunningham can't connect. Right at the Valkyries, they are forcing some difficult shots from the Fever. Stokes over to Chechi. Chechi had those 2 threes early in the first quarter. The bounce pass to Burton, what a cut. Kicks it over to Williams. Jab step, corner 3, lets it fly. Gabby Williams on one here in the first half with 11 points.
Give me all that movement. The backdoor cut from Gabby, and then Veronica goes as well and finds Gabby in the corner.
Mitchell trying to knife through the lane, kicks it over to Harris. Her 3, no good. Valkyries 9-point lead. Ball in their hand, under 2 minutes left here in the first half. Burton with Billings on her, and now Stokes can look to post up with the size advantage. Williams changes the angle. Smart play from the Valkyries. Stokes for 2 more, 11-point lead.
So simple. You just said it. Changing the angle on that pass, finding someone at the high post to feed Kia Stokes.
Morgan, they're holding the Fever to just 29 points in this game so far. This is the league's top-scoring offense.
It's been impressive to watch, and you're just seeing the Valkyries playing on a different level.
Billings, the 1-2 step, fouled by Stokes, so Kia Stokes will pick up just her first foul, so 0 foul trouble also for the Valkyries.
You know, you asked me even before the game how they need to continue this streak, and it's about locking in, but locking in on both ends. You see this offensive possession right there, all the movement from everybody, and even there, again, Gabby flashing in the middle and feeding Kia Stokes down low.
Gabby has 11 points, 3 assists, and 1 block. And whether it was the extra time off or the rest, she has been so sharp to start this game. And when you look at just a disruptor on the defensive end, all the little things she does to erase good shot looks for the Fever, we haven't seen them get quality looks in the half court for a while.
You see the fundamentals of just keeping your hands up, keeping your hands in the passing lane active, but then when you see her come up on somebody, that perimeter pressure is causing so much damage to the Fever's offense.
Indiana just 2 of 4, and you see it. They average 94 points per game, still at 30 with just over a minute left here in half. Williams trying to come off the screen, no luck there. Burton behind the back, in the paint. Burton, shot clock winding down, over to Chechi. Chechi, tough shot, over Hull, puts it up, hits the rim. KT there for the offensive rebound. Valkyries can reset, under a minute left now. 8 on the shot clock. Burton, the crossover. Burton surrounded, knocked to the floor. Stokes there to pick it up. Stokes can't get it up, so credit the Fever for hounding Burton there.
Yeah, better defense by the Fever, just trying to keep Veronica Burton along the perimeter, and they did just that. She just kept going back and forth, and that's where you just want to see the ball move a little bit more with the pass.
And I believe Coach Nakase was saying that's me. She was tapping herself for what she was trying to communicate on offense there, if we're reading it correctly. And so, again, that ability to just recognize the adjustments and to atone for what you need to do. It's the communication with this team that has shined. Mitchell, the drive, 2 defenders in her face, flips a pass back to Cunningham. Cunningham chased off the three-point line. Pull, corner 3. That's no good, and the Valkyries can hold for the last shot of the half. And the shots have been quick coming from Indiana. They can't really get into a groove even when they're open. Williams back over to Stokes. 6 seconds, 5, Burton to Stokes to try and beat the halftime buzzer, no good. And Billings will avoid trying to heave it, and how about that? A 10-point lead for Golden State. We probably missed it, but we'll see. Either way, if it's Valkyries ball, they only have 1.2 to work with here. And Indiana's risking their challenge on a call like this.
Yeah, very interesting for Indiana to risk this early in this second half, especially on a shot where...
All as Boston did not touch the shot attempt from Kayla Thornton with the shot clock winding down.
Yeah, and Thornton's shot, it was so flat. The way that the ball was rotating, you thought maybe a hand touched it, but nope, it's Fever basketball.
Again, Valkyries would have only had 1.2 to work with when they inbounded it, so really no harm there. Clark catching, casting, can't connect. That ball popped around. That'll be Indiana ball. Another loose ball that the Valkyries would have loved to have controlled there.
Yeah, just battling for that rebound. You're seeing the Fever pick it up a little bit more here as Caitlin Clark misses another 3. She's 1 for 7.
Just 2 points for her, 4 points for Leah Boston, and here comes the foul off the ball, and a free throw will come in as the ball was not inbounded, and that's what we discussed here. You're going to maybe be prepared for a tighter whistle here in the second half if you're the Valkyries.
You know, even with Stephanie White challenging that call, I almost felt like it was one of those moments that she just needed to have confidence in her team and say, look, we need that ball back. I know you didn't block that shot. It didn't go out of bounds on you. Now you're seeing stopping the clock and getting a score right here. Valkyries need to pick it up.
Mitchell hits the free throw. She's up to 10 points. First Fever player in double figures. This is the team that had 6 players in double figures in that 30-plus point win over Vegas their last time out. Williams defending Clark. Stokes. The pass whipped from Clark to Billings. Billings galloping into the lane and able to drop in the shot.
And that's a great finish by Mo Billings. She got bumped by Kayla Thornton, who's doing a great job defensively.
This is a big offensive possession for the Valkyries. This crowd has been pretty quiet all night long, and they're starting to feel a little juice with the Fever now trailing by only 7 after trailing by 12 here in the third quarter. Here's Williams. We'll get the screen from KT. Williams turns the corner, and they're going to call out of bounds on Williams as Boston was stepping out. That was a risky step by Boston.
Here we go, these third quarters, Jordan, as you see the Fever in Mo Billings on the other end. This pass from Clark. Billings attacks Kayla Thornton in the mid-range right there in the paint.
Indiana obviously looking to stack a couple of possessions here. Boston spinning. Boston the pump fake with the left. Can't connect. Chechi able to save it to Stokes. Big time stop for the Valkyries.
You got to get that stop and go. And right here, Burton's pushing up the floor, but I want to see some good ball movement.
Williams with Clark defending. Lines up the 3. Can't connect, but you don't mind that shot at all.
Yeah, even there, Gabby Williams was feeling confident. But Jordan, I want to see them pass around that ball.
Mitchell long 2. Billings trying to keep it alive. A fight for the rebound. Stokes with rebound number 6. BB up ahead to Chechi. Chechi the drive. Boston steps out. The Valkyries will reset. Stokes has the size advantage. The pass over the top. I felt Hull kind of undercut her legs right there.
And that's what Kia Stokes was feeling there as well, as she was working her way down the middle, and she's looking down the floor going, yeah, I mean, I didn't just lose that basketball.
That's what Coach Nakase was trying to highlight right there. That pass would have been on target, but Stokes couldn't get her balance to catch it. Still a 7-point lead. 6 minutes left here in the third quarter. Clark, long 2, shot bothered. She's able to hit it.
And sometimes you just need to see that shot fall, and Natalie Nakase calls a timeout.
Smart timeout by the Valkyries, not to let this crowd get back into the game. It's still a 5-point lead for Golden State, but it's a 7-0 run for the Fever over the last 2.5 minutes. And now offensively, it feels like this is where the adjustment might come as we take one more look at this last bucket.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark taking that high screen, a little bit of space. She stopped Pop at the elbow. Kia Stokes in drop. No hand was up.
We'll see the Valkyries take on Sonia Citron and the Washington Mystics on Saturday, July 18th at 5:30 p.m. presented by Harvey. Lock in your seats now for the Valkyries' July return to Valhalla. Get your tickets now at Valkyries.com. Visit Valkyries.com/all-star to vote now. I'll tell you this much. I miss Valhalla. We've been in these other venues, and it's nothing against these fan bases or these arenas. They're certainly doing the best they can, but nothing, and we mean nothing, compares to Valhalla.
It doesn't. It's home. It feels so different. And obviously you feel the energy from the fans when you're there, especially when this Valkyries team needs it in a third quarter. So they have to find their own energy, their own confidence here in this second half. But I'm with you. Can't wait to go home.
Valkyries 1 for 4 from the floor to start this third quarter. Indiana 3 of 8. But this is where, if you're the Valkyries, your defense, it's been terrific throughout the evening. You want to start converting on offense here. You're shooting 46% from the field, but just 29% from 3 on 4 of 14 shooting from outside. Gabby with Hull defending. Gabby goes right into Hull. Hull able to get a hand on it. They're going to rule that out of bounds on Williams. And Coach Nakase trying to get a quick response from the video crew. Indiana's trying to get the ball in as fast as possible. Golden State will not use the challenge.
And not only that, Lexi Hull comes down with those arms. Whether it was down on the ball, maybe that's what they're calling clean.
Clark on the baseline, and here comes the whistle. She gets the foul called against KT. So Caitlin Clark will go to the free throw line for 2 shots.
It's smart. They're feeling the momentum shift in their way. They're attacking. They're trying to get to the free throw line. As soon as they get these stops, they go, Jordan.
So Clark, who was the Eastern Conference Player of the Month for June, ended that month on a tear. And until recently felt that she was playing the best basketball of her career, but it's just dealt with a couple nagging injuries at different times. The back kept her out for 3 out of the last 4 games. She was on a minutes restriction. She's played 14 minutes so far. It's both those free throws. Now a 3-point lead for Golden State. Fever on a 9-0 run at the moment. Offensively, you've seen the Valkyries try to attack one-on-one a couple of times. And here's KT. Clean look from up top. Can't convert. That ball knocked out of bounds off the hands of Billings. It'll go back to the Valkyries.
Yeah, you saw Veronica Burton take down that double, leaving KT open from the top. But again, she's got to find her rhythm. She's shooting 32% on the year. 1
of 3 from outside in this one. Williams meets with 2 defenders over to Chechi. Chechi with Mitchell defending. Chechi going to use her size, backs down Mitchell, fades away. Chechi, what a shot from her. Crafted it all by herself.
And now you got to get back.
Here comes Mitchell on the other end. Quick north and south, can't convert. And that'll be Indiana ball, and Coach Nakase, they're trying to review it real quickly in the second row. They will not challenge, and I do think that was off Salon. I think it just got deflected at the last moment.
Yeah, another break for the Fever as they attack.
It's the 5th turnover of this quarter for the Valkyries. They had 4 in the first half total. Clark inside to Boston. That's where she wants to catch it. She was fouled before the shot, though, by Charles, who got pinned behind her.
Gabby trying to make that pass to Salon. Caitlin Clark comes over, steals the ball, gets her own rebound, gets that ball to Boston. Boston doing such a good job from 3-point land on the year, 3rd in 3-point percentage, and obviously she has just been evolving her game, shooting that shot from beyond the arc.
It's been wild for Boston. She's hit more threes this season than she did in her first 3 years combined. Clark can't get it. Valkyries still maintain the 2-point lead. Here's Chechi racing it down the floor. Indiana has not led in this game. Valkyries raced out to a 12-2 lead, and Burton's just going to get hung up by Mitchell, and that is absolutely a foul.
Mitchell was doing a really good job of denying her the basketball, but as soon as Veronica Burton started coming back, she didn't leave her any space to do so.
It's the first foul against Indiana this quarter, with 3:36 remaining. Valkyries Picked up 2 fouls so far this quarter.
And you know who you need to attack, especially when she's down low, is Aaliyah Boston. Janelle Salon, you see Boston is defending her right now. Attack. Try to get her out of the game and more into foul trouble.
Caitlin Chen checks in for VB. So it's Charles Chen. Chen the slip. Chen right to the rim. We saw that multiple times against Toronto, and Chen just instantly coming in with the quick cut. Her first points gives it a 4-point lead for the Valkyries. Mitchell inside, drops it. She's up to a dozen now.
She's done such a good job getting in the paint all night long. 20 points in the paint for the Fever.
Billings gets a hand on it. So for the Valkyries, you're just trying to tighten up the handle and secure the ball a little bit better here in the third quarter.
And that's it. And you see Caitlin Chen come into the game just like you said. She gets a little bit of space on this sideline out of bounds, gets the easy 2.
And a 5-second count for the Valkyries. It's the 6th turnover of the quarter. And that's one you certainly would like to re-rack.
Yeah, right there. The focus, just being locked in, Jordan, is something that we've been talking about since the start of this game. It's the end of the road trip. You're playing a really good team that has a really good offense. Don't let them get confident.
Valkyries average just under 12 turnovers per game. That's tied for the tops in the league. They're sitting at 10 already for this game. Fever whip it around, and Boston will be fouled inside by Stokes. That's going to send her to the line as the Fever in the bonus. So Aaliyah Boston will head to the line for a chance to tie this thing up at 46 apiece.
And Fever doing a much better job of just moving that ball around. You see it whipping around the horn, going inside. Again, Aaliyah Boston just being on the floor makes such a big difference for this team.
It's her ability to carve out space. She picked up the 3 fouls early in the first half, didn't play much in the second quarter, but has been a force here in the third. KT will check back in to replace Stokes. Now we have a whistle as KT will check back in, and now the officials are having a conversation. Are they going to say this was a lane violation, possibly?
And you're seeing Xanda Lassini look around, shrugging her shoulders, but we'll see what they end up calling.
So they go over to the Indiana bench, and now they're going to the scorer's table. And this is confusing, Morgan. I'm trying to think what the situation is right now.
We need to huddle up just like them and talk it over, because I mean, you saw Xanda Lassini look over, shrugging her shoulders like, what are you talking about, me? What is happening? And there's so much communication here.
Are they trying to clean up who the foul was on? That's the only thing I can think of here.
But then you saw Caitlin Clark getting frustrated, as she's doing once again, just kind of looking
She's off the bench
lane.
at the moment. And so the officials continue. So they call delay of game on Indiana is what it is. For what reason? We can only guess from here, but clearly Clark was not happy with it. Boston splits a pair. It's still a 1-point lead for the Valkyries, but their 10-point lead at half is now evaporated. This bench that has poured in 14 points in this game hopefully step up here late in the third. Chen flares a pass to Chechi. Long 3 from Chechi off the front of the rim. Cunningham controls. Here's Mitchell. The screen from Billings. Salon will show the branches. Cunningham stepping through. Cunningham bothered, but a late whistle comes in from behind, and more free throws coming up for Indiana.
Yeah, I thought there was a lot of contact there, and that was a smart move by Cunningham, just attacking the paint. Right now, you're seeing the Valkyries' defense just not super disciplined when someone is driving to the paint. Try to just make sure that you're being physical with them without fouling.
The last time this game was tied, it was 0-0. Cunningham has tied it up at 46 apiece. Well, you can't miss Hello Kitty Night at Ball Hall. Join us on Monday, July 20th, as the Valkyries take on the Mystics. The first 10,000 fans in attendance will receive a Hello Kitty plushie. Get your tickets now at Valkyries.com. Morgan, you're showing up 7 hours before that tip.
You know I can't wait. I better get one of those.
Here's Cunningham to try and give the Fever their first lead of the game. So Indiana has walked back the Valkyries, and now the Valkyries trail by 1. Under 2.5 left here in the third quarter. Chen, the drive against Harris. Cross-court pass to Charles. Charles trying to challenge Mitchell. Charles lost it. That'll be a foul on Mitchell.
Ooh, and that's a tough one. I thought Mitchell was doing a good job of moving her feet as Charles just attacked this closeout perfectly. Again, Charles trying to get into the paint, maybe just a little bit too much body from Mitchell in her chest.
Second personal against Mitchell. Salon, the rip. Salon, the pump fake. Salon caught in a little bit of no man's land, fades it away and kisses it off the glass.
Turned around and stayed patient.
So Salon able to pour it in, and then Chen the deflection. Here comes the bench mob. Chen in transition, goes right by Cunningham, and it's Chen again.
Caitlin Chen getting the ball and pushing it down the floor.
This bench has just been the backbone of this road trip, of this 7-game winning streak. They have bowed up when the Valkyries need them to, and now they have given Golden State a 3-point lead once again. Billings flips it over to Harris, 7 to shoot. Harris in the lane, fading away. And another shot that just drops in for Indiana.
And you're seeing them work in the short range right there. When they get into the paint, it's not all about attacking the rim, but when they are attacking the rim, seems like they're getting to the free throw line.
Chen, the drive goes right by Harris to the cup. Almost got the and one opportunity. She can't believe it. She'll head to the free throw line.
And Caitlin Chen trying to give it back there, but her first score of the game right here, playing some defense, pushing it down the floor, down the right side, looking for her teammates, says, I got this one.
Caitlin Chen with 4 points already in this quarter. Head to the free throw line, and Coach Nakase said the communication on this team has gotten better and better this season, and especially Chen off the bench has been vocal, but that bench as a whole is always tuned in during the game.
Always. Tiffany Hayes was talking about it with us the other day at practice, just saying when we are on the bench and getting ready, we are looking at what adjustments we can make at all times. Focus, locked in. That's why we've been so successful this season.
Caitlin Chen is the second leading scorer for the Valkyries with 6 points here in the third quarter. Just over a minute left, 3-point lead for Golden State, both teams in the bonus. Mitchell, the drive, met by 3 defenders. Timpson down low, then catch and finish.
And Mitchell did a good job curling right there, but you're seeing that help defense just a step off every time.
I think, again, if you're the Valkyries, you live with that. You'd rather the Fever have to weave a couple of passes and get that finish. Chen cradles it. She's unstoppable. 8 points here in the third quarter for Caitlin Chen.
What we say at the start of the show, give her the ball and let her work. She does such a great job attacking her defender.
Under 45 seconds left. Billings rumbling to the cup. Can't get that one. That'll be out of bounds off the Fever. Valkyries ball. And we called it when Indiana took the 1-point lead. You wondered when the bench would crank it up a notch, and it's been Caitlin Chen and the rest of this unit that have just maintained their composure here. And that's going to be a foul, and free throws coming for Caitlin Chen. She does it all, folks.
Caitlin Chen seeing where Harris was on the floor and just attacked her.
Well, listen, we talked about Kelsey Mitchell and her 9 points in the first quarter and how that just took over the game. Caitlin Chen has a chance to score 10 here in the third quarter.
And she's been able to do this, like we said, especially the last couple of games. She's been so consistent. Last 3 games, averaging almost 13 points a game, just being super efficient. Still looking for her 3, but when she's attacking like that, Jordan, it gets everything going.
Misses the first free throw. Lead is still at 3 with 29.6, and so for the Valkyries, what do you want to see from them defensively as Indiana might have their final shot of the third quarter?
Just make sure you're in help. You're talking it up. You don't want any easy buckets around the basket.
And also, I imagine, limit them to just 1 shot.
Please, and stop this one, Kelsey Mitchell.
Surprised Indiana didn't make a sub here for this last offensive possession, maybe bring in Boston or something, but either way, it's Mitchell up top, defended by Charles. Cunningham will come to set the screen. Mitchell to the right. Mitchell trying to create a little separation. Look at Charles dance with her. Harris, the 3, no good, and a chance here for the Valkyries right before the end of the third quarter. 6 seconds left. Chen has to hustle. 4 seconds left. Chen, the drive, puts it up. Are you kidding me? Caitlin Chen, a force of nature, gets the bucket and the foul.
Give Caitlin Chen the ball and get out of her way. Right here.
Oh.
Look at that. The crossover down the middle. Mo Billings comes over. She takes the contact and gets the and one. That's incredible, especially with 1 second left in the third.
Caitlin Chen using all the ingredients and baking just a delicious third quarter. Chen goes for 13 points in the third quarter, all but. Clark up top, 10 to shoot. Hayes trying to fight through the screen, and Clark was trying to sell that she was shooting the shot. They're going to get Hayes for the foul, and that was just a muddle of traffic right there on the screen.
Yeah, Hayes wasn't really trying to navigate that screen. It looked like she was trying to go through Boston as Caitlin Clark was going to get wide open, but you still had Kayla Thornton there and help.
Kelsey Mitchell comes back into the game. Boston with those 4 fouls, so you wonder if Hayes was trying to maybe draw her into a cheap one there. Clark the drive, KT in front, 2 defenders blanketing Clark. Cunningham, corner 3, no good. Long rebound, back to her. Cunningham able to get the lay-in.
Yeah, and if you're Caitlin Chen, you do not want to leave Sophie Cunningham open from three-point land. It's good she missed that one. Got her own rebound, though, and put it back up.
Salon from Chen once again. It's a 1-2 punch that can't be beat.
Oh, the connection between those two right there. Salon knocking it down in the same spot.
It's what we talked about in the open. Those two have just been so effective off the bench. Boston for 3. She hits another one.
Wow. It's like we said, she's been able to stretch the floor and really knock down the three-point shot.
Golden State, you can trade buckets with the Fever as Cunningham jumps the passing lane. Cunningham running in transition. Cunningham can't get it. Timpson no good. And what a stop there from KT. We saw them practice challenging shots without fouling early today.
Yep, they were staying vertical, doing everything they could to just play with their chest, and right there she did it.
Jordan Shield at the scorer's table, ready to come back into this game. Salon fouled by Mitchell. And so Caitlin Chen, who has just played marvelously since about midway through the third quarter, maybe getting a breather soon.
Yeah, and right here, the connection between those two that we talked about earlier. Caitlin Chen getting it to Salon at the top with that little bit of space.
I think there are thousands of fans standing up wherever they are watching, applauding Caitlin Chen as she trots to the bench, because she absolutely saved Golden State in this game. When the Valkyries were down 1, she went on her mini tear, and now Golden State in full control thanks to her efforts.
And I feel like we've said that so many times around this road trip.
Salon and Chen, the highest scoring non-starting duo in the league. KT, 3, why not? Rattles it home over Boston.
The Valkyries starting to knock down a couple threes. They're 7th of the game right there.
The Valkyries have won 7 straight games. It's a franchise record. 8 in a row. Closing out this road trip at Indiana would send shockwaves through the league as Boston puts it in for 2.
Good verticality by Kayla Thornton, trying to be strong with her body as Boston just battled through.
Still a lot of time left in this game, though. So for the Valkyries, like to start generating a few more stops down the stretch here. And defensive 3 in the key called against Indiana, so an opportunity for a free throw for Golden State. So Kayla Thornton will step to the line. Thornton with 8 points and 8 rebounds. So we have double-double watch for her. Threads the free throw, now at 9 points, and the lead is a dozen. Return into the game for the Fever. And they need to communicate who's coming out of this game. They have 6 players on the court right now as Boston will check out. That's a bit of a surprise for Indiana with 7:06 left.
It is a surprise. Maybe just getting a quick breather before they get her back in.
Boston has only played 20 minutes in this game, though. You would think you want her to go the distance. And listen, you're Golden State, you're not going to complain. Hayes, the drive, blows by Cunningham, up with the left. She's a blur with the basketball.
And that's why you're not going to complain. Obviously, not having Boston and her presence in the paint makes it a little easier to do that.
34 bench points, Clark, the 3.
Don't let her go left. Right there, that's exactly where she wanted to go as Veronica Burton did everything she could, but Janelle Salon in drop.
Even though the shot was good, Indiana averages 94 points per game. They're sitting at 61 with 6.5 minutes left. Salon looking to post up against Cunningham. Salon working against Cunningham. Fades away, draws the foul, and free throws coming for Salon. The boos are cascading down here in Gainbridge Fieldhouse, but it doesn't matter. Salon will go to the free throw line for 2.
And Salon needed to be careful there because you see her get the basketball here, but it was like she was looking for the foul rather than trying to make the bucket. And yes, Sophie Cunningham just came down a little bit, bumped her with the arms, with the body, just a little bit to send her to the line.
Salon, one of 4 Valkyries in double figures. She's now up to 11 points. Valkyries 10 for 11 from the free throw line. They've also out-rebounded Indiana. Indiana had an 11-4 advantage on the boards early in this game, and since then, the Valkyries have out-rebounded them 21-12. 13-point lead for the Valkyries. One shy of their biggest lead of the game. Clark, the drive. Clark will pick up the foul as Salon is whistled.
Oh, and Gabby Williams was there to help on the block.
Yeah.
And those are the moments, you know, you just don't want to reach in. You don't want to get caught up in that, sending Clark to the line.
So Clark with 9 points. Remember, Clark and Mitchell average 42 points per game. They're sitting at 21 combined. Kelsey Mitchell's only scored 3 points since the first quarter.
And this is what the Valkyries defense does. Now, you also know what this offense can do if they stop the clock, get confident, get that momentum going. So don't allow Kelsey Mitchell to have the space and to have her clutch moments either.
It does feel like this clock is moving especially slower here in the fourth quarter as the Valkyries just want to get out of here and get this victory, close out this road trip, 8 straight wins. Can you imagine the heroes' welcome they would get back in Valhalla, but still a lot of work as the Fever throw out a little bit of a full court pressure there. But you got 2 fresh guards back in the game, and Williams and Burton at the moment. VB over to Hayes. 5 on the shot clock. Hayes back over to VB. Her 3, no good. Rebound Billings. Here comes Clark. Williams will pick her up in transition. Clark, step back 3. Off the front of the rim. Billings can't get the rebound. It'll be Valkyries' ball.
And the Valkyries defense lucked out there because Caitlin Clark loves that shot. She was going to her left right there with that momentum dribble, just couldn't get it to go.
And now Boston comes back into the game, so she just got a quick little rest to go what we imagine the distance here. So the Fever, again, throwing out that pressure, and the Valkyries are happy just to use a decent amount of clock each possession here. Hayes with Mitchell's heels on the 3-point line. Hayes over to Williams. Clean look for 3. What a find! Gabby Williams with another triple.
The little pick and roll action with Salon and Tip allowing Gabby to be open on the sides.
Huge shot there. Clark with the lay-in, but at this point, the Fever can't afford to trade buckets with the Valkyries.
No, and if you're the Valkyries too, don't let them score that quick.
That's a great point, Mo, because that was about 5 seconds of game time, and now you just want to do all that you can to slow down the offense for Indiana. Williams, the drive, whips it over to Salon. Salon sets her feet, fires. Salon can't connect. VB coming in, fights for the offensive rebound. And they're going to rule a foul on Veronica Burton. A loose ball foul. That'll be her second personal.
Wow, and I thought you really had her body under control, and looking back here as Tip and Salon were at the top, just getting the defense to collapse in the middle, getting that 3 open for Gabby.
Williams with 14 points. She's 6 of 11 from the field. Clark, the drive. Clark, the dish to Boston. The quick hands from the Valkyries. And that's going to be Valkyries' ball because Clark was out of bounds while both players simultaneously touched it.
Yeah, and Caitlin Clark, the last 2 possessions, though, getting deep into the paint, Jordan. That's something that you don't want to keep allowing because they're getting those quick scores and looking to get something else deep.
One of the first empty possessions of this fourth quarter for Indiana. Williams tries to whip a pass. Hull was able to knock it down. Williams, the drive. Williams with the left. Fouled as she goes to the floor. Free throws coming for her.
Lexi Hull doing everything she could to try not to foul Gabby as she was going down the left side, but ended up just getting her a little bit too much with the body, with that arm bar.
So Williams First trip to the free throw line of the evening. And now the Fever will challenge this. So a big call coming up here, and we'll have to take a look at the replay once more to see if either team had clean possession of the missed shot. I believe Indiana did, so potentially big call coming here with the Valkyries leading by 12. We'll step aside. Indiana trying to get the ball back. I don't even think Clark got the shot up to get fouled on before the shot clock went off.
And that's what everyone is saying. Obviously, the entire
There's
Valkyries
no way.
bench.
No way.
Please. Let's take a look back.
Here it is.
All right, she's here. No.
That's not even close.
No, no.
I would be shocked.
There's no.
And I'm wondering if Clark's trying to say she got fouled before then. There's no contact there, no contact there.
It's already off.
It's off. It's off. It's too late.
It was like 10 seconds later.
That's the true fan in Morgan coming out right there. You know, we sit up here, we work on our enunciation and everything. There's just sometimes as a hooper, it just comes out. It's just not even close. That's 10 seconds to do it.
Jordan knows how I do my math.
Yes, I do. So either way, if you're Golden State, this should be your ball and no foul on Burton.
Absolutely.
Here's Clark. She's pinned deep, has no safety valve, and at that point does not get the shot up, and they're going to wave it off. They go over to the Indiana bench and give that signal, and that'll be Golden State ball. And that, to me, was one of the most important defensive possessions of this game, because a bucket, especially a three for Indiana, would have juiced up this crowd, and there's still enough time left in this game that you would have felt some pressure. And now for Golden State, you can bring the ball down, milk some clock, and really start to chew away at the time remaining in this one.
And that's it. And don't allow the Fever to have any quick scores. Obviously, those big threes you don't want to see either. But you got to get things done on the offensive end. Move the ball around, but don't let it be too late in the shot clock either.
The Valkyries are trying to become the first WNBA team since Seattle in 2021 to go 5-0 on a road trip of 5 games or more. That's a foul as Hayes goes to the cup. And she draws one on Kelsey Mitchell as the Valkyries trying to put a statement on this one.
Wow. Tiffany Hayes just attacking Caitlin Clark at the top. Mitchell trying to come over and help. She takes all the contact in the world to go to the free throw line. What a move by Hayes.
This bench, 40 points tonight. Hayes with 10 points. 5 Valkyrie players in double figures. How about Hayes? 3 of 4 from the field. Adds some tip to the bill and is a flawless 5 of 5 from the free throw line. Valkyries with their largest lead of the game with 3:30 left in this one. Mitchell, the 3, it's good.
Still don't want to see those quick scores. I mean, 3 minutes is just too much time for this Fever team with this high-powered offense.
Mitchell has 15 points. Her season average is 22. Season low for the Fever is 75 as Mitchell tries to jump the passing lane. Indiana doesn't have any challenges remaining. It'll be Valkyries' ball.
And even right there, take care of the basketball. As soon as you see the double come up, be decisive, get rid of it.
VB to inbound. VB long pass, dangerous one. Hayes controls it, saves it to Williams. Williams splits a pair of defenders. Williams back up top. Valkyries just trying to find their balance once again. Shot clock winding down. Salon to beat it. Goes glass, kisses off the rim. Williams can't hang on to it. Cunningham's able to scoop it up. Fever will hustle. The pass up ahead to Mitchell. Mitchell to the corner hole. The pump fake. She stepped out of bounds. What a costly turnover for Indiana.
And that was huge. Especially, it seemed like the Fever defense was speeding up the Valkyries on the offensive end. You can't allow them to do that late in this game. You have control of this game.
And how about the lineup the Valkyries have on the floor? Even with Aaliyah Boston on the court for the Fever, they've gone small, and Salon and KT are your tallest players. All the ball handlers, all the shooting on the court right now for the Valkyries. Just around 2.5 minutes left. Hayes, who has been so good off the dribble whenever Cunningham has been defending her. Hayes, Cunningham got right into her face, and Hayes will trip her up. That's a tough one for the Valkyries, and that might be a take foul, I believe.
That's ridiculous. You know, Tiffany Hayes falls over, and Sophie Cunningham knew exactly what she was doing by tripping over her in that situation. I thought she could have taken the ball and maybe gone left with it. We can see the replay right here, but either way, it's tough. It was late in the shot clock, Jordan, and they're just not staying focused. They're getting sped up. Right here, you see, yep.
So she truly was tripping there as Clark misses the free throw, and Valhalla don't lie.
Ooh, I love that one.
So a chance now for Indiana. They want to try and cut into this 12-point lead for the Valkyries. Valkyries in the bonus also. And this crowd has just been completely taken out of this game with the way the Valkyries have just put the brakes on this Indiana offense. Boston to the cup for 2. 10-point lead, but as you say, they've been scoring pretty quickly here.
And that's it, those quick scores. For the Valkyries, you got to play your same game. Not only does it need to be confident, the ball has to be moving around. You got to attack.
Here comes the trap. Long pass to Williams. Williams picks it up. Careless pass. Cunningham, another steal. You get the sense Indiana's going to hunt a 3 here. Clark draped around. Boston sets her feet. The triple, no good. What a box out and rebound by VB. She's now in the backcourt. Valkyries have a timeout. VB took a shot. They're going to call it out of bounds on Golden State. And now Coach Nakase, I believe, might want to challenge this. Or I don't know if she can in this situation.
No, and I'm not sure she can, and that's what they're looking at. She's saying she was calling that timeout. And Veronica Burton looking for the foul instead of just stopping, taking a second, maybe calling the timeout.
And so it's Indiana ball with 1:44 remaining. They trail by 10. Mitchell, the 3 behind the screen. It's good. We have a 7-point game. Not over yet. Timeout, Golden State. It's a 7-point lead with 1:39 remaining. Both teams in the bonus. Indiana, a team that'll never go away.
Nope, and right there, Kelsey Mitchell, you know she can be so clutch, knocking down a huge 3-point shot for the Fever right here. Boston getting her that space with that dribble handoff. Gabby Williams doesn't want to come over, doesn't want to risk getting her the and-one situation. For the Valkyries, they're just not looking like themselves right now, Jordan.
The biggest thing for them at this moment is just to protect the basketball. You question, if you can get one more score, are there enough possessions left in this game for Indiana? You would have thought maybe not, but now that Mitchell hit that 3, a 7-point game, it's still a 3-possession lead. But if you're the Valkyries, you have to start either getting to the free throw line or getting some buckets to drop here as we take a look ahead. Williams and Salon. It's really the crisp passing. Because you're going to get these jump traps in different parts of the court. And what do you have to do in those situations?
Got to make sure you're decisive. You got to make sure you're making the precise passes.
A bucket here would go a long way for the Valkyries. Here comes the trap. Hayes, the drive, flips it over to Salon. Salon sees 2 defenders. 12 on the shot clock. VB trying to milk some more clock. Long pass across the court to Williams. Her 3, Gabby can't connect. Rebound to Boston. 1:15 remaining. Clark down the floor. Williams jumps the gap. Got her hands in there. Valkyries ball. She read it from the initial pass.
Gabby Williams just staying locked in on the defensive end. Reading that pass perfectly. Pushing it out of bounds on the Fever. Once again, Clark can't get it to Mitchell. Off Mitchell.
What a play from Gabby Williams. Just sucked the oxygen out of this building. And now the Fever can only foul. Defensive play of the game right there for the Valkyries.
She came up huge. She obviously had that turnover just a couple possessions ago, making up for it right there.
Would you have fouled that quickly if you were the Fever in that situation? I was a little surprised by that.
Especially with the way that they have been playing defense. I thought their doubles have been working. They've really been making the Valkyries think on the offensive end, but they send them to the line.
First free throw is good for Hayes. She's got a dozen points. So you've got Chechi with 10, Williams with 14, Salon with 12, Hayes with 12, and Chen with 14. Hayes Hits them both, and the lead is 9 now for the Valkyries. At this point, you just don't want to give up the three-point shot, I imagine.
And that's exactly it. And as Caitlin Clark is looking for hers.
Clark, the three, off target. Hull can't get it. Hayes all over the rebound. Williams controls the dribble. She's fouled by Hull. The Valkyries steps away from closing this out as the crowd here in Gainbridge Fieldhouse silently heads for the exits.
This has been huge. You're seeing here in the third quarter, they started losing it. Second unit comes in, starts to pick it back up, bringing the energy. Caitlin Chen being your hero once again. And now in the fourth quarter, you have your main squad in there trying to close some things out.
What an incredible road trip. We mentioned the first team since Seattle in 2021 to win 5 or more games on the road in a sweep on the same road trip. And this is a season-defining road trip. They battled through a tough Atlanta team that they played for the 3rd time in 11 days. They go to Washington and get the victory. It's a big-time win against Toronto. They battle a Connecticut team that have been surprising some squads. And this was the one that you circled during the schedule. And you looked at this and you wondered, how would they handle the Fever coming off a dominant win against the champion Aces? They might hold Indiana to their lowest scoring total of the season. Just a phenomenal effort from this team.
And again, it's been all about the way that the team has been playing for this Valkyrie squad. You see that second unit come in. They pick up right where that first unit leaves off. The defense has been suffocating in all these games from the start of the road trip to the end. For them to find that energy, Jordan, it has been absolutely incredible to witness.
11-point lead for the Valkyries. Here are the standings at the moment. Golden State will move into sole possession of second place with an 18-7 record as they close out the final minute of this one. And for Indiana, all of a sudden, you fall back to a lot of that traffic with the Dream, the Mystics, and crazy to see the Liberty at the 8th spot at 13-11. It is going to be a very, very difficult playoffs in the first round, no matter who you are, it feels like.
Some teams just still trying to figure it out. Doesn't matter who's on their roster, and then other teams, like the Valkyries, are just connected on another level.
Keep in mind, 5 of the Valkyries' 7 losses have been against Minnesota and Vegas. 2 of those Vegas losses came within 36 hours of playing the Lynx. The deflection from Salon, it goes into the hands of KT, and now KT will go to the free throw line for a chance to be the 6th Valkyrie in double figures.
The hands in the passing lanes, the deflections, the discipline. We saw it from the start of the game and now until the end, sending KT to the line as she gets fouled.
8 rebounds to go along with these 9 points. KT was plus 19 in this game as you look at the plus minus. And how about Gabby Williams returning back to the lineup after sitting out against Connecticut, had the back contusion in the second half against Toronto. She has 16 points, 3 steals, but the number of deflections she had, including that last one when Indiana was only down by 7, Mitchell was open for a 3. And it gave the ball back to the Valkyries.
The activity is absolutely incredible. And to just stay with it, obviously, coming back from that injury, feeling good, being relentless out there. That's what you've seen from Gabby from the start.
The Fever call timeout. It's a 13-point lead for the Valkyries. KT now with 11 points, 8 rebounds, 6 players and double figures for the Valkyries. They shoot 33% from 3. Their bench goes for 43 points. That's the recipe for this team. It is hard to beat them when they're getting to those metrics.
And that's it. Sometimes you look at this Valkyries team and you're like, man, they're just shooting lights out from three-point land. Everything is working for them. They just did such a good job of attacking the paint, being aggressive, obviously getting it done on the defensive end, but pushing it the other way has just been something that they've been able to execute on a different level on this road trip.
And we have that stat again. Coming into tonight, it was 13 straight games in which the other team's leading scorer did not meet their season average. And Mitchell, she has 18 points, but she averages 22 a night. So it's not like she had a huge performance that dominated this game. But here's the defense. 73 points allowed, 21 below Indiana's season average. They clipped off 6% on that field goal percentage. And as we said, Kelsey Mitchell unable to meet her season average. 4 blocks, 9 steals, 22 points off of turnovers. And it really started late in the second half.
Yeah, when they really locked in, that was something we kept talking about. Okay, when are they going to just be focused? When they ended up locking down Kelsey Mitchell, not allowing her to go on any more runs, you just saw a shift in this entire game.
Mitchell with 18. Mitchell the drive and a foul, and Gabby holding the back of her head as she falls to the floor, and just want to make sure she's okay, and that'll send Mitchell to the free throw line. And now Gabby a little dazed here. And remember, Chechi had a head injury early in the season and missed some time, and not going to speculate at all, but you just never love it when a player hits their head.
Just go home healthy. Everyone, let's go home healthy, shall we?
The welcome this team will get back in Valhalla, the first time they take the floor as a team after the warm-ups, is going to be deafening in Chase Center.
They're already so proud every single time this team gets a win, but to see a possible 8-game winning streak, it just means so much, not only to the community, to the fans, but you just see how they're dominating in this league. It is special.
Mitchell now up to 20 points. The lead is 11 for the Valkyries. It's Hayes. Lost the ball. Mitchell will scoop it up, so Mitchell could possibly put an end to that streak. Long two off target into the hands of VB. And then a timeout call.